One of the things I always talk about is the importance of actually creating your marketing strategy around how your customer buys rather than how you want to sell to them. And many people do not necessarily understand how to do this. But there's a concept I came up with called the buying process. Now, what's the buying process? The buying process is pretty much understanding the step-by-step outline of how do you take your potential customers from not knowing about your brand and business and who you are to actually becoming a paying customer. And I use a 5 step process. A part of that process is what's known in marketing as AIDA. It's an acronym AIDA, and it stands for awareness, interest, desire, and action. So taking through that entire process, that's 4 parts of the process, but it's actually a fifth part, which is the unawareness stage that comes before the awareness stage. And the reason why this is important is because if your customers aren't aware not just of your brand, but of the problem that your product or service can actually solve for them, then they won't see the need to actually purchase from you. So the first step is taking your potential customer from being unaware to aware. And awareness in this sense is not necessarily awareness of your product, service, or brand. It's bringing awareness to the problem that they have that your product or service can solve for them. Now, the next step is taking them from awareness to the interest stage. And this is now where you're using content to provide solutions to that specific problem. Now, it's not your product or service you're positioning as the solution. It's just creating content to educate your potential customer on the potential solutions that exist for them. Now, how you actually move them from interest to desire, this is now where you start to introduce your product or service or position your product or service as the solution to help them solve that specific problem that they have. And you can do this through a number of ways, case studies, testimonials, and so on. And then how you move them from actually desire to taking action, which is actually purchasing from you and becoming a customer, is where you create a sense of urgency. This is where one-time limited offers come in, discounts, probably specials for a particular period to get them to actually take action and make that purchase.